What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here. Delarose.com. That's DELARROZ.com. I'm a #1 best-selling author and an award-winning comic creator, and I've got all of my links in the description below. You can get my books on Amazon, my website. You can subscribe to my Subscribestar. Get all my content that way, and also just support the channel. So if you like my doing comic reviews, of course, you know, the financial helps a lot because then I can buy these books and review them for you. So thank you very much, everybody who does so. This is Hawkeye, the graphic novel by Matt Fraction and David Aja, something like that. And I hadn't read this, and I meant to read this when the TV show was coming out, and I just didn't get around to it. And I got around to it while I was sick last week. It's a pretty short omnibus. It covers Hawkeye 1 to 22, an annual and a Young Avengers story that's real quick in this. And it's got a pretty cool little cover on the inside, the purple for Hawkeye. Now, the first issue is all about Kate Bishop, who's like this girl from Young Avengers who's, she's got Hawkeye's bow, and she steals it, and he takes it back, and there's a little back and forth there. Eventually, he kind of gives her the nod to be Hawkeye, and so that's really the setup for her existing. It doesn't have the same art style or anything else. It's kind of just like a little prelude that just sets the scene a little bit. And then it gets into this series, and it was actually pretty fun. I like this kind of style of art. It's a little muted. It's a little, part of it's kind of old school feeling. It's kind of cartoonist feeling. It's got some, like, I guess, simplicity to it. You see these little scenes right here where it's just like flat colors and implied line art. It feels, you know, that's kind of an Alex Toth sort of vibe right there. And it really works out. And it does communicate a certain feel of Hawkeye, that he feels like he's in this weird muted situation. Now, there's two storylines that progress here. Like, it goes back and forth between Clint Barton, the original Hawkeye, who's like bought this apartment building from these like gangsters, and the gangsters want that apartment building because they want to mow down the block and create something new, and he's just not letting it happen. And hijinks ensue over the course of this whole thing where they just go after him over and over again to cause problems for the tenants there and for him. And he's just a normal dude without powers, so he's just like, this sucks. And all these things happen. Kate Bishop's kind of in training with him at first, and he gets into these trouble situations, you know, one because he meets this woman here. See, here's more of that line art where it's just like implied lines. It's very simple, but it works very well. Like, this is great stuff right here. You don't need to go overboard a lot of the times with this sort of stuff. And, you know, Fraction has this, like, humor where he, like, tries to do things like this. You know, he's got the little logo covering up. You know, the humor stuff gets in here sometimes, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But overall, like, the flow of this is really good. Like, the pacing's good. There's, like, just enough action to make it work out. He goes on a SHIELD mission at one point and has to deal with Madame Mask. And this ends up, Madame Mask ends up causing trouble for Kate Bishop later on. Eventually, Kate Bishop leaves for Los Angeles, where I guess her parents are from and all that. And her parents kind of cut off her credit card. She's got like a wealthy lifestyle. I just like pages like this. They just feel so clean. Now, the colorist intentionally used these color palettes where it's like the entire issue would be like a purple issue or a blue issue. And he would like use it's actually, he shows his work in the back. How it's done. A very cool concept. Here it is. They show the color palettes across an issue, but how it's like just used intentionally to have these spreads like be a full piece rather than just individual panels. I think this style works really well and is neat. I like it a lot, as a matter of fact. This is a really fun one where they're like looking over a murder crime, and the dog is going through and actually walking through all this stuff and kind of figuring out how it all came to be. Very cute stuff. Some of this stuff's really cute. Some of it hits and misses. Kate Bishop deals with Madame Mask and some problems while Clint deals with his little gangsters back home. And eventually they're kind of forced back together at the very end to finish off this storyline. So it works pretty well overall. I didn't mind the Kate Bishop Hawkeye element to it because was clear she was being trained by Hawkeye, and it wasn't that she was replacing him. She's just kind of doing her own thing along with him, and it was, you know, not that bad. And overall, it was mostly fun. I mean, the style over the course of the omnibus gets a little old, maybe, but it's all right. And so, you know, with the art and all that, and the way that it ends, it worked out pretty good for the most part. So I would call this an 8 out of 10. Solid Hawkeye. I mean, I don't know that there's a lot of just pure Hawkeye stuff out there for Hawkeye enthusiasts. But this one worked out pretty well. All right, hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know what you think about that. And I will be back soon.